I'm happy to have in this segment here, we've got our award for the OpenText. Let me make sure I've got it correct here. It's the OpenText Cybersecurity MSP Titan Award. And from OpenText, we have Josie Keck. Josie, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Doing real great here. And, we've had a lot of successful MSPs, growing MSPs on here. We just covered an hour-long session around AI, but looking forward to hearing here with Sean and Betsy of their story and secrets to how they're growing the business. I'm gonna let you first, Josie, talk a little bit about the award that you gave out, the OpenText Cybersecurity MSP Titan Award, and how was the criteria? How did you choose the winner of this award?
Awesome, thank you so much. So the OpenText Cybersecurity MSP Titan Award was created to acknowledge, honor, celebrate our top achieving MSP Partner of the Year in the United States. We had 10 partners nominated, and it was really hard. All of our partners that were nominated, they're growing partners, so we had to come up with some criterias. And Affinity won this award because they really make a difference in their customers' lives. They are one of our fastest growing MSP. They are one of our top contributor to our solutions. If you know of OpenText, we have this OpenText Cybersecurity now. It was created through acquisitions. We're always looking for new solutions to help our partners continue to grow and serve their customers. They're very high engaged with their teams. They are top contributor to their community in Nashville too. Their employee satisfaction is very high too. So they really deserve this award.
Yeah, so before we bring them on, talk about those. You mentioned the acquisitions, and I know when we saw you a couple weeks ago, you talked about some of those acquisitions because I think they're big names that everyone doesn't always put together with OpenText. So talk about what those acquisitions are for OpenText and the tech stack that OpenText is building.
Absolutely. And I like to say that OpenText is one of the largest technology company that nobody knows anything about it, at least not in the SMB world. We are a Canadian company specialized on enterprise information management. So we're really big on the enterprise market. But through acquisitions, we created OpenText Cybersecurity. You probably heard the name of Zix, AppRiver, Webroot, Carbonite, and the latest acquisition Pillar. So all these companies came together to serve the MSP and the SMB industry today. So that's what we're working with.
Excellent. So yeah, with that, let's bring on Sean and Betsy Wright with Affinity Technology Partners. Welcome on to today's event.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. And congratulations on winning that. I know it's a huge competition of being able to come out on top. What I like to hear about from Josie here, and Josie works with a lot of the top partners from my understanding there at OpenText, is she talked about the fast growth that you've had at Affinity here. So talk about a little bit about Affinity Technology Partners, where you located, size of company, what's the growth been like here over the last year or two?
Fast growth and 23-year growth. So it's been fast and long, fast. So, but yeah, we're in the Nashville market, and I would say in the last 10 years, we really decided, like, we got hold of what we're doing, how we're helping our customers, really came up with the way we deliver our services now. And so that's just helped. We've just grown year over year. We've learned about trial and error, and this has been a really good season of delivering just our services.
How about you, Sean?
I mean, with partners like OpenText, we're able to say we need these particular things that are happening to our clients. We're looking for these solutions. We know how to, in a sense, plug things in. But in today's market, in today's landscape, we need a vendor, we need partners to help really deliver more than that. And from a cybersecurity perspective, having those things work together and having partnerships where you can actually have conversations. Right now, we're doing that. You can have support. It's all pulled together in a holistic pattern or means that we can then turn around and bring to our clients.
So this was a specifically of a cybersecurity award within the MSP industry, not just an overall growth award here. Talk a little bit about of what your what the path has been for your cybersecurity practice, what you've been doing for your clients.
Yeah. Several years ago, I started looking at the landscape. You know, we were an MSP, and then you started seeing the MSSPs come to bear, and they were hitting the market as well. We weren't going to become an MSSP, but I was like, our clients still need that same thing. So how can we start layering in practices, processes, awareness for our clients from a training perspective to actual visibility into their networks, visibility into for logging purposes, putting smarts around looking at the logs and then alerting at that point and having software that does it all. And all of that really has to come together so that way you get a holistic view of what's actually happening in their environment, not only physical network, but also within email, within the clouds that they work in. And that's where we come to the OpenText and say, we need solutions that then we can then push through because of the landscape that we're seeing.
Yeah, and Jeff, when we talk about our Affinity story, I mean, there's also a pretty big stroke of luck in there, and that I mentioned that we have learned by mistake. We really changed the way we deliver our services. And one of those ways around 10 years ago is we just started putting more resource into proactive work and into not just running around putting fires out, but how do we prevent fires? And honestly, that has lined up so well with cybersecurity. We weren't that smart. Like, it was happening at the same time it was emerging that we were making this business change. And so they've just really lined up well together to enable us to get out in front, catch things. Thank goodness, because this is crazy landscape we're all in now.
Well, and you make your luck a lot of that too. I know you say that you had some stroke of luck there, but you make your luck by being able to see things and to be able to see of where might we be falling down a little bit and where can we make improvements there and going more towards the proactive side. Josie, talk a little bit about how OpenText is helping their partners and enabling them to have the type of growth that Affinity's having right now.
Absolutely. So we help our partners build the cyber resilience via holistic security portfolio across the pillars of threat protection, detection, and response and recovery and investigation compliance. And some of the things that we do to help our partners, we do offer MDF. We do strategic sales planning calls with them, meetings where I help their team, help them identify where they need to, add products or solutions to help them prevent, detect, response, and do the recovery for their customers. We do technical trainings for their technical team, and we do this via Zoom, and we do this in-person training too. We have a peer group that some of our top strategic partners participate in. We do roadshows. Our roadshows are geographically located for a group of partners to get together, where we can bring them other MSPs, and they get to learn about our technology and some sales strategies. And sometimes we get to bring them to the Microsoft office where they get a tour of their beautiful facility, and we throw in some fun things for them to do too while we're learning and growing together.
Well, that's actually one of the things that's been a common theme today is that having that peer group, having that peer interaction. We've been talking about it on almost every interview that I've done today as such a key piece of growth. Sean or Betsy, maybe talk a little bit about that, of how that's affected your business. You've been around for 23 years. And it's always the joke and something like that is that a 23-year overnight success story here. There's a lot that goes into that, but talk about yours, of the interactions within the MSP community and the importance of what that's done for your business.
Mm. Yeah. We'll both probably just interrupt each other because this is,
Right.
we are both super passionate about this. We're both very involved in a peer group at multiple layers. We've got Sean's involved in a local just business group, but our MSP peer group has just been crucial in our holding us accountable, helping us learn from each other, getting best practices from each other, stealing each other's job descriptions, just like in each other's financials. And our peer group, I mean, they have the right, they will actually a year ago, they had us all cornered and they're like, what are you doing? You've made some really bad business decisions this year. We're watching it affect your business negatively. Like, what do and just having the hard conversations. And I know that's, I hear such great things about the Robin Robbins community, Evolve, True Methods. I mean, there's so many different opportunities out there. Another one is just being involved in the channel, like the way Josie, they have the peer group and the different, channel company, all those, they have their the get-togethers where we get to meet other peer members from across the country. So it's huge. I cannot express it enough. I just go on and on, but I'll shut up.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll add to that, from a technical perspective, there are so many solutions in the industry, in the marketplace, and to have someone who has gone down a road ahead of you is priceless. So many times we are all trading emails. Hey, have you done this? Have you tried this? And so, yes, we have the business. Yes, we have the accountability. Yes, we have all of the other things that Betsy described, but then we have the technical components as well. And a lot of us, I'm a systems engineer, and we have questions on how some things will work and if they will work for our clients. And, the peer group is a great sounding board for that.
Well, and one thing, just to be dramatic, we actually have a peer member who, I think she's in Wisconsin. Literally, her service delivery manager dropped dead in someone's server closet, like dead. And our peer group, I mean, we were on the phone with her. We were talking to her staff. We were helping shepherd in that void. And it's incredible to watch, like just how we help each other. And these tech guys, I am not a tech guy, but they are so helpful and want to help each other. And so I'm sure whatever community you're in, it's just very prevalent.
Yeah, it really is a common factor that you see across everyone that is a winner in the MSP Titan Awards. From the smallest company to the largest company of our MSP Titan of the Year that was doing $500 million in revenue. They've got a different peer group maybe than others, but that's one of the biggest things that with Robert Stevenson, when I was talking with him, is still in that peer interaction, because you don't just grow from just being in your own bubble. So that's one of the big things that is a strategy for growth. Kind of what else in your business have you seen over the last few years that you can share with the over 500 MSPs that are on this live cast here today, of being able to learn from whether it's your mistakes or your successes to be able to grow their MSP business?
Sean, you can answer it technically. I would tell you, because there's a lot of tech industry people on this call, I know, but I'll just tell you from my viewpoint, more operation and sales relationships. And that is your business. We're a service business. So our team is our product. So our relationships with them, our relationships with our clients, leaning on those and letting that cover a multitude. I mean, we're all going to make mistakes. And so having that relationship with our clients. You stole the peer answer. I mean, the relationships with peers and really leaning into those, and our vendors. I mean, Josie has been with us from Zix to AppRiver to now OpenText. And if we have an issue with Microsoft, we're not calling Microsoft, we're calling Josie, and she's using her backdoor line to get in touch with them, right? So it's our relationship with our vendors as well that is just crucial. Sean, you may want to give more of a technical answer than that.
Hey, just real quick, Sean, before I want to double down on what you were just saying there, Betsy, is I see that, and that's almost kind of part of that peer interaction, but it also is the vendor interaction. That's another commonality that I see is that of those that are fast growth MSPs, they're really leveraging people within the channel, that those such as Josie, to be able to make connections, to be able to help when things go wrong, because there's always going to, in running your business, there's always going to be things that will go a little bit sideways. When you've got someone, whether it's peers or others that are on the vendor side of things, that can help to be a partner of yours, that is a huge commonality that I end up seeing there. That almost everyone really on this call that is, and even when I look at all the award winners that we had here, they've got close interactions. It may not be with the same account managers, the same vendors, the same companies, but they've got those key relationships that they can lean on of key partners, because you need that in your business.
Yes, yes, and yes, absolutely.
Sean, sorry, I jumped in there, but I wanted to make sure to underscore that as that's super important.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree with that. I mean, that's one of the things as we were growing was I need to leverage our vendors. I need to leverage people who have contacts with people who can get things done. And that's a key growth. I think another component is knowing your margins and your leverage. How many people do you need on your staff to help your clients? And what are the margins that it takes? And paying attention, not on an annual basis, not on a quarterly basis, but monthly. You're looking at your margins and you know your numbers to make sure you can be sustainable and profitable at that point. So.
Yeah, that you've stated a number of things that it's good to be able to hear it from one person. It's great to be able to hear it from multiple that are some of the top performers in the industry. Knowing numbers is another commonality out there, and so I'm pointing those out for everyone, not just for this in the interview, just to be thinking of that. What are the things that top performers are looking at and knowing? And so there's peer interaction. There's making sure that you're knowing and leveraging your vendors. There's knowing your numbers so that you know what it is. That's something that usually, Sean, you probably, I'm guessing just from this, that you came into it of being technical from the start here and starting the business. Technical people don't necessarily, they know technical how to. They don't know necessarily those numbers, and running a business is something that you've got to learn.
Yes.
And it's one of the biggest keys to being successful, because you don't want to just be growing, you want to be growing profitably.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
So we're just about out of time, but before we wrap up, why don't we get one more additional from each of you of any thoughts or advice that you have for those that are watching in today? Josie, why don't we start with you?
Okay, I can go for. So the strategic partnership is the biggest key to me. Me being the trust advisor to Affinity and them being my strategic partner, them calling me not just when they need help, but for us to collaborate with ideas. How can we do better? I have monthly calls with their team. So the strategic partnership, I think, has been the key for them to, continue to grow with us.
And marketing funds. I mean, that's another huge thing is, leveraging your vendors for that, throwing great events, getting your name out there. And Josie's been a great partner in that way as well. Thank you.
I think I'll add just, as an engineer, I'm sitting down on my keyboard, and this is where I'm heads down, I'm solving problems. I'm going to get my head up, and I want to talk to the community. I want to talk to peers around me, and not just be isolated, not just be, in the servers and the clouds, but actually have conversations with other partners, other peer members that can walk with us.
Yeah, absolutely. So great themes on this. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us here today, being able to share your insights. Betsy, I had just a funny story of it. I was looking through the images that we have online and posting up online. You can look at, if you haven't seen them yet, I don't think we've promoted it out, but for the gala, It's on Robin Robbins Flickr account. So if you just Google Flickr Robin Robbins, and you can find some photos. But there was a photo of you talking on stage. I don't know if you even remember of what you were saying up there in front of 500 MSPs there at that awards. But my daughter was one of the awards ladies that was in the background there. And you must have been saying something that was very insightful, because she's just leaning forward of just like she's trying to capture exactly of what you're saying.
Probably
there.
saying, "Oh my gosh, this lady's crazy. I may have to drag her off the stage." I think I was saying, I was like, I want the band to start playing, like in the award shows, and they're like, doo, doo, like when people are talking too long, like
Yeah.
right now. I wanted the music to start playing.
All right. Well, great. Josie, Sean, Betsy, I appreciate you guys hanging out
Thank you,
here.
guys.